Welcome back. Previously, we have been dealing with construction of financial statement, mainly balance sheet, on the base of ratios and other additional information. Let us continue with some of the additional cases that come under this case. Case. You are required to prepare a balance sheet from the following data. You are given current ratio, liquid ratio, stock turnover ratio. In the bracket is given based on closing stock. Usually we compute stock turnover ratio or any sort of computation regarding turnover ratio. Mainly stock turnover ratio is mainly done to find closing stock. So in the bracket it is based on closing stock. It is an implied information. Gross profit ratio is 20%. Debt collection period is 1.5 months. Remember it's in months. Reserves and surplus to capital is 0.6. Fixed asset turnover ratio is 1.6. Capital gearing ratio 0.5. Fixed asset to net worth 1.25. And finally sales for the year 10 lakhs. So in the previous sessions which we have dealt the cases regarding construction of balance sheet, in which we have discussed that in order to begin these type of cases, you need to begin from an amount which can be linked to some of the ratios given in that question. In this question, the only information regarding amount is sales. So out of the ratios given, the amount can be directly linked to gross profit ratio. So because on the basis of that you could easily find gross profit as well as cost of goods sold likewise. From that you can easily compute another items depending upon the details given in the question. So let's start with sales. So in the question it is said that sales is 10 lakhs and gross profit is 20%, because it's in the question it is given 20%. It is implied that gross profit percentage represents it is a certain percent, means 20% of sales. So the sales given is 10 lakhs. So if you take 20% of sales, you will get gross profit 2 lakhs. We have dealt the same part numerous times in the previous sessions. So now we have gross profit and sales. So we can easily compute cost of sales. Cost of sales is sales minus gross profit. Sales is already given. Gross profit is computed just now. So you will get cost of sales 8 lakhs. Now we have gross profit, sales and cost of sales. So next we are going to find is closing stock. Because in this question, stock turnover ratio is given. See, it is 8 times. And we just now computed cost of goods sold or cost of sales. So we can directly substitute the items in the equation. Stock turnover ratio or cost of sales ratio equal to cost of goods sold divided by closing stock. Stock turnover ratio is given 8. Cost of goods sold is already found, or cost of goods sold or cost of sales. Both terms can be used synonymously. Is 8 lakhs. 8 lakhs divided by closing stock. So you finally get closing stock is rupees 1 lakh. Next item, current assets and current liabilities. See, in the question it is given current ratio is 1.4 and no information regarding working capital. If there is working capital, we can easily find the amount of current assets and current liability. The only information regarding or relating current assets or current liability is current ratio and liquid ratio. So current ratio is 1.4, liquid ratio is 1. And we also have stock is 1 lakh. So there is an equation that can be used like situations like this, where when we have current ratio and liquid ratio and no information about current assets or current liability, the only information is 1 lakh, closing stock rupees 1 lakh, we can directly use this equation, stock equal to current ratio minus liquid ratio divided by current liability. We have dealt the same equation in the first cases. So just substitute the amounts. 1 lakh equal to current ratio 1.4 minus 1 divided by current liability. Remember, whenever you come across a case where current ratio and liquid ratio is given, no other information regarding working capital or current assets or current liability, but if you have the amount of closing stock, you can directly use the same equation. So by solving this, you will get current liabilities 2,50,000. So we can now easily find the amount of current assets because we have current ratio. We just computed current liability. So current ratio is current assets divided by current liability. Current ratio is 1.4 equal to current assets divided by 2,50,000. So you will get current assets 3,50,000. The next item which we are going to find is debtors. If you go through the question, the only information regarding debtors is debt collection period 1.5 months. There is no other information regarding debtors. So on the basis of that information, you need to find the amount of debtors. So debt collection period, we know that the equation is time divided by debtors turnover ratio. We don't know debtors turnover ratio. Let's see why we are going to do that. Debt collection period is 1.5 months equal. Since it is given in months, the time taken is 12. Divided by debtors turnover ratio, you will get debtors turnover ratio 8. And we also know that debtors turnover ratio equation is sales divided by debtors. Actually, it is credit sales. In the question, if there is any sort of information regarding credit sales, try to use that credit sales. Otherwise, you can go for sales. In the question, see, there is no information regarding credit sales or anything else. The only information is sales. So whenever you come across a question where the information is limited, you can use the limited information for various computations. So we can use this sales 10 lakhs in this equation. So debtors turnover ratio 8 which we computed now, 8, and 10 lakhs is given in the question. So you can easily find the amount of debtors. So debtors is 1,25,000. Next one, cash and bank. If you go through the question, there is no information regarding cash or bank or any sort of cash equivalents. But on the basis of computations, till now, we will know the amount of current assets and other items of current assets such as stock as well as debtors. But if we calculate or if we try to take the total of the current assets which we have computed till now, we will not get the total of rupees 3,50,000 on the base of amounts which we have computed such as closing stock as well as debtors. So whenever you come across a question or case where you have to prepare a balance sheet, remember you need to find the total amount of current assets, and within that computations you may come across to find closing stock as well as debtors. Try to check whether the stock and debtors tally with the current assets. If there is any difference, it means it may be cash or bank or cash equivalents, anything. So you need to make sure that the amount of current assets tally with the items which you have found in the question. The same has to be done in the case of current liabilities. Mainly you may come across a questions where current assets there will be a hidden item. In this case there is no information regarding cash. But if you add the stock 1 lakh and debtors 1,25,000, you will not get 3,50,000 as current assets. But already we computed that current assets is 3,50,000. So the missing amount is cash or bank. So now we have computed cash or bank 1,25,000. If you go through the question, there is no information regarding cash or bank or anything else. So these are some of the examples of hidden information or hidden adjustments in these type of questions. These are the parts that brought down your marks in the examination because of maybe some sort of careless issues or because of the examination type schedule. You may neglect these type of adjustments. So while computing these type of cases, you have to be very cautious and carefully deal each and every case. Next one, fixed assets. If you go through the question, you can see that the only information regarding fixed asset is fixed asset turnover ratio 1.6. There is no other information rather than this one. So just go with the equation. Fixed asset turnover ratio is cost of goods sold divided by fixed assets. And fixed asset turnover ratio is already given in the question. Cost of goods sold is already found at the beginning of this question. So we can easily find fixed assets, rupees 5 lakhs. Next one. Net worth or shareholders fund. In the question, there is no information regarding net worth or shareholders fund, but in the question it is said that reserves and surplus to capital is 0.6. There is no information regarding reserves or surplus, reserves or capital, so this information is invalid till now. It may be useful subsequently. Fixed asset turnover ratio, no use. Capital gearing ratio, actually capital gearing ratio is done or given in the question. In that case, you maybe use that ratio to find long-term debt. Remember. Next one, fixed asset to net worth 1.25. Okay, fixed asset to net worth. So you are going to find net worth or shareholders fund. The only information given in the question is fixed asset to net worth. The equation is fixed asset divided by net worth. We already found fixed assets amount just previously in the previous slide, and fixed asset to net worth is already given in the question 1.25. So you can easily find the amount of net worth, that is 4 lakhs. And next one you are going to find is share capital. And how we are going to find? In the question it is said that reserves and surplus to capital is 0.6. I think in the previous slides, in the question there is information regarding reserves and surplus. That will directly give the amount of reserves and surplus. In that case, it is quite easy to find share capital. But in this situation, it is said that reserves and surplus to capital is 0.6. It means reserves and surplus to capital is, it means if share capital is 1, reserves and surplus will be 0.06. That is the concept. So we can assume that let the share capital or capital be X and reserves and surplus is 0.6X. I hope you are understanding the concept. It is said that reserves and surplus to capital is 0.6. 0.6 means 0.6 divided by 1. If the capital is 1, the reserves and surplus will be 0.6. That is the concept. If it is represented in percentage, if the capital is 100%, reserves and surplus is 60%. That is a concept. Okay. So we can assume that let the capital be X and reserves and surplus be 0.6X. And we know that net worth equal to shareholders fund plus reserves and surplus. Actually, it is net worth equal to shareholder. It's not shareholders fund. It is usually you should write share capital plus reserves and surplus. That is the apt term. So net worth equal to share capital. We assume X and reserves and surplus is 0.6X. So you can easily get X is 2,50,000. We assumed that let the capital be X. So share capital in this case is rupees 2,50,000. And reserves and surplus is 1,50,000. I hope you understand why we got 1,50,000, because we assumed reserves and surplus is 0.6x. We found that x is 2,50,000, so 0.6 into 2,50,000, you will get 1,50,000. Next one, long-term debt. If you go through the question, there is no information regarding long-term debt or any sort of that kinds. The only thing we can see that in the question it is said capital gearing ratio is 0.5. Remember, capital gearing ratio is usually given in the question mainly for computing long-term debt. Mainly, it may be or it can be used for finding any other items, but usually capital gearing ratio may be given to find long-term debt. On the basis of that concept only, we are finding long-term debt. So capital gearing ratio, we have learned that equation FIPS divided by equity shareholders fund, and FIPS, the other name of FIPS means long-term debt. Remember, FIPS means fixed interest bearing securities. Fixed interest bearing securities means interest on debentures, interest on loan, interest on preference shareholders, sorry, dividend on preference shareholders likewise. So capital gearing 0.5 equal long-term debt divided by equity shareholders fund. Equity shareholders fund, actually the equation is equity shareholders fund. Since in the question there is no specification regarding equity share capital or preference share capital, we can assume that let the equity shareholders fund be shareholders fund, total shareholders fund. See, we already found shareholders fund 4 lakh. So you can substitute 4 lakh here. Now the long-term debt is 2 lakhs. Next, we are going to prepare the balance sheet. So the balance sheet will be quite simple and the items has been already recorded. Let's compare the various computations as well as the amount written in this balance sheet. In the first item is share capital 2,50,000. See, we already found in the previous slide share capital 2,50,000. Next one, here it is reserves and surplus 1,50,000. We just computed the amount of reserves and surplus in the previous slide. Just substitute the same in the balance sheet. Next one, long-term debt. See, long-term debt also we computed in the previous slide. Just note it down, 2 lakhs in the liability side. Next one, current liability is 2,50,000. It is also found 2,50,000. Just note it down. So we now almost have all the items of the liability side. Next one, fixed assets. We have computed the fixed asset. See, rupees 5 lakhs. Just note that 5 lakhs in the balance sheet. Next one, stock. Stock otherwise known as closing stock or inventory, that may be used. The terms may be used synonymously. See the closing stock, rupees 1 lakh. Just substitute the same in the balance sheet, 1 lakh. Next item is debtors. See, we already found the amount of debtors, 1,25,000. And finally, cash and bank. See, 1,25,000. Just note down all the items which you have computed in the balance sheet and make sure the items in the balance sheet tally. Sometimes if you find the total of the both sides may not tally each other, in that case, first of all, make sure whether your computations are right. Once you found out that all your steps or computations are proper order, we can assume that the difference may be any of the missing items. We have dealt some same kind of such cases in the previous sessions. So just go through each session, each cases. We have been dealing, even though we have been dealing with the construction of balance sheet, each day we are discussing different adjustments as well as application. So just familiarize each item, each cases. If just go through the items or cases or the problems which we have been discussing and try to find some other questions by referring other texts if possible, or you can Google it. And if you are not finding any sort of question, you can, if you are not accessing any kind of question, just contact me. We will discuss about some other cases in the coming sessions. Thank you.